Most people think asking questions is the way to keep the conversation alive. But what if I told you that you didn't need to do it? Machiavelli, the great philosopher who taught kings how to hold power, once said, "The one who asks obeys," which is why so many dates feel bland, almost like a job interview. The second you hide behind small questions like, "What do you do?" you have already lost. If you don't stop yourself, you'll lose a spark before you can even say something. So today, I'll show you 3 ways to talk to your crush without losing the spark. Most people think asking questions is the easiest way to keep the conversation alive, but the truth is, it actually kills attraction. It's easy to fall into safety by asking, "What do you do for fun?" But all that does is shift pressure onto the other person. It feels less like a date and more like a job interview. What creates real attraction isn't asking, it's inferring. When you infer, you make educated guesses about someone based on their vibe, how they look, and what they've told you. This does 3 powerful things at once.
My brothers and sisters, if you're confused about your relationship or keep repeating the same patterns, this is for you. Most people don't lack efforts, they lack clarity. I offer private relationship clarity sessions where we break down how you operate in relationships under attraction, stress, and commitment. I use psychology and structured pattern frameworks to identify blind spots, tension points, and decision traps where you stop guessing and start seeing what's actually going on. This isn't therapy, and it's not about predicting outcomes. It's about understanding your pattern and choosing your next move with confidence, whether that's dating smarter, fixing a relationship, or deciding to walk away. If you want clarity instead of confusion, the link's in my bio.
It makes the conversation more fun because by guessing, you introduce playfulness. It makes it dangerous because you can be wrong, which could create tension. And it makes you more present because you're not waiting to follow a pre-rehearsed script. You're actually in the moment. For example, instead of asking, "Do you like your job?" you can read their body language. They'll probably roll their eyes at the thought of work. If that opportunity comes up, there's a chance to say, "You look like you're over it." That's an inference, and it's playful. It creates emotion and makes the other person want to respond. Machiavelli once stated, "Men in general judge more by the eye than by the hand. For everyone can see, but few can touch." Basically, most people just see the tip of the iceberg. They take things at face value and stop there. Nothing more, nothing less. They ask boring questions over and over again, which is why their conversations feel stuck. When you actually observe, when you take what's face value and go deeper with an inference, you break out of the ordinary. Instead of sounding average, you start to sound like a rare person who actually sees. That's what creates tension, spark, and presence. Attraction dies when you're collecting facts, but grows when you take the leap of faith and say, "Hey, here's what I've noticed about you." Being attractive is just as simple as revving your engine. Having the ability to boost your attraction is one of the most underrated techniques in dating and attraction because you're not always going to feel your best. Some days you are exhausted, completely stressed out, or stuck in your own head. In a world full of people who hate their lives, the person who manages to boost themselves, who listens with real presence, and brings laughter in any room is the type of person to uplift people out of their misery. In Machiavelli's 500-year-old writing, it stated something simple yet so powerful. The people who move others aren't the cautious ones. They're the ones who act in boldness and take risk. Fortune favors the bold, and the same applies to conversation. People aren't attracted to hesitation, they are drawn to boldness. A person who brings life into a room, who shakes them out of autopilot, who makes them feel more alive just by being there. Physical appearance may get eyes on you, but what sticks is your energy. But understand, once you have a bit of momentum in the conversation, you'll face some challenges, such as disagreements. Your initial reaction might be, "What do I do now?" Or "What if I told you you didn't have to worry?" Disagreements are a normal thing. It's good to have them. It means you are facing something real, a real opinion, and a real thought. Not having disagreements is like a pyramid. Pyramids have multiple layers. There's the surface layer that's full of small talk and friend zones. What you want to do is go higher, past the surface layer. To do that, your crush is going to naturally challenge you and challenge your ideology to see if you're worth the moment. Surprisingly, attraction doesn't grow when you comply. It grows when you hold tension and juggle it, which goes with another one of Machiavelli's teachings. In his book, The Prince, he wrote, "It's much safer to be feared than loved if one must choose." not because cruelty wins hearts, but because people respect strength more than surrender. This blends well with conversation, because when someone pushes back, it's not rejection, it's a test. If you collapse and throw away your opinion, you lose weight. But if you hold your own and even double down with humor, you prove you are worth being taken seriously. That's why small talk dies on the surface, but playful disagreement feels alive. Remember, attraction doesn't grow in compliance, it grows in tension, in the play between two strong minds with two strong ideologies. At the end of the day, most people lose their crush's interest within the first sentence. Not because they're not good enough, but because they play it safe. They hide behind masks of small talk, low energy, and quick agreements. When the truth is, connection and attraction doesn't come from perfection. It comes from being alive in the moment, making inferences and bringing energy and holding tension. Your crush is not going to remember the facts you traded back and forth. They'll remember the spark you brought into the room. If you can do that, you won't just be noticed, you'll be unforgettable. If you made it to the end, thank you for watching. If you want more relationship content that will revolutionize your mind, hit the subscribe button and like this video. I'm Truthenvisioned, and I will see you next time.